Hello people on the internet. In this video, I will be going to two places to paint plein air paintings. Before I go, I firstly prepare my canvas boards with a wash of raw umber. This helps me to judge color values more correctly, as any color would appear darker than it actually is when placed on the white of the canvas. Mixed with turpentine, this wash of raw umber is rather thin and transparent. As you can see, it's not that dark, but when placed aside the white canvas, it's dark. I've been to this place a few times, and this is one of the compositions I've been wanting to paint. What is this? An 8B Winsor & Newton pencil! Someone else thinks this is a great composition and have done drawings, maybe paintings of it too. Well, I will take great care of the pencil from now on. I always use gloves when painting outdoors so I don't have messy hands, to avoid transferring paints onto my bag or clothing. I prepare my palette and use this hard-to-open liquid original as my medium to increase paint flow and speed up drying process. I quickly mark out my composition with some simple strokes. I then begin painting from furthest away parts of the composition and slowly move forward to foreground. For a sunny day like this, I use mainly ultramarine blue, cobalt blue, and titanium white. I tend to add a touch of cadmium yellow for lighter areas of clouds. The subtle color temperature shift consolidates the fluffiness clouds deserve. Do be mindful about your brushwork. Overloading yellow will make your sky turn green. Okay, time for a new camera angle. Hello again, do you like this angle? The temperature is around 28 degrees Celsius, but with continuous sunlight on my back and my thick hair, I've been sweating the whole time. I'm going to work with layers for this painting. At current stage, I just try to fill the canvas with paints as quickly as I can. The lighting right now is a bit too strong for my liking. I will see how light changes when it's closer to the sunset, and maybe mark out the highlights then. Okay, I see light has now reached a softness and a color temperature to my liking. Let's take a look. See this little spot of light hitting on the bridge? Isn't it just perfect? Now I'm entering the second stage of this painting, defining forms, no detail or bright highlights yet. That will be for the final stage. There is a handful photo shoot right there. It's been an hour and 40 minutes. I paint rather slow this time. Last plein air I did was a long time ago, so I became quite rusty. I will come back and continue tomorrow. 2 days later. Sunset will be after 9 p.m. I go out after 5:30 p.m. Hope the sun can be less scorching. Unfortunately, today is steamy hot. Right now it's around 35 degrees Celsius. First thing to do when you arrive at a park to plein air is, of course, to pee. For someone like me who has no friends, it would be very inconvenient to go to washroom during painting, as no one can help to watch my stuff, so I always empty my bladder first. Great, maybe you learned a new word. Bladder. Next time, instead of saying, I want to pee, you can say, my bladder is experiencing some serious pressure. Guys, I think this washroom is haunted. This blower just turns on when there's no one there. Oh shit! Learned from last time, I brought sunscreen and insect repellent spray. The time is almost 7. Today I will start adding more light and shadows to push the contrast and add details. I use viridian green with ultramarine blue to paint shadow areas of distant trees. Slowly add cadmium yellow when paint foreground trees. I then pretty much spend the rest of this session studying rocks. I know the sound of water is really soothing. Tree branch and grass sway like they are saluting me. But the temperature is constantly above 30. It's not as relaxing as it seems. I yearn for an air-conditioned room with a venti cup of cooled soda for me to slurp. Initially, I thought I would simplify these rocks by significantly reducing their numbers. But the numbers of the rocks, especially the smaller ones on the bank, can give this place a better sense of scale. I did resize some of the rocks to make the composition flow better. It's now 9 p.m. The sky starts to darken quickly, and I can feel more and more bugs are flying around me. Back at my home studio, I further up the contrast of light and shadow. I'm not happy with how I rendered the trees. It's obvious that I lack techniques for painting trees. I shall do a plein air study focused on trees. As much as I like to study and paint things in realism, I get bored too. Sometimes I just want to make big strokes and leave paint onto canvas. This is the base layer for a new painting of the same scene. While I wait for it to dry, let's have our snack time! Fake apple. I mixed in a lot of quinacridone magenta to sky and a lot of cobalt blue to green to make the scene look a bit dreamy. The paint I apply onto the canvas is not thick nor opaque. I also intentionally leave some spots here and there to have the red base layer peek through, in hope to convey the feel of scorching sunlight of that day. I didn't look at any photo references when painting this painting, but it's still way too representational than I planned it to be. I couldn't help but to render the forms, lights, and the shadows. Non-representational is hard, man. If you want to make something original and sophisticated, it takes time. It takes a long time, man. Today is another super hot day. The sunlight is blinding. I had to install sunglasses for my camera too. The parking here is $3 per hour, 50 cents more than the previous place. I'm not coming back here for a second session. We all know the first thing to do when we arrive at a place to paint. Say it with me. To empty our bladder. This place is full of people. With the baking hot sun, I almost just gave up and returned home. But I have paid the parking, so I'm gonna paint here even with tears in my eyes. I walk and walk, try to find a good composition for me to paint that also doesn't have a lot of people. You probably can't tell from this video, but social distancing is not over yet. I forgot to bring gloves today. I like this composition, but the sun is directly hitting my eyes whenever I look over. To make the matter worse, there's another sun from the lake just as powerful as the one from the sky. It's really blinding. I literally can't see much stuff there. and I have no judgment of the colors. This is probably one of the biggest lessons I learned from this plein air session. Think again next time when you want to paint directly towards the sun. I underestimated how hell-like this could be, but good news is the sun will be setting soon, and it will soon be behind the cliff, and that's the moment I want to capture. It is really hot, I'm sweating, I'm dehydrated, my eyes are hurting, I can't see colors, and the bugs are all over the place. I feel like I'm practicing asceticism here. I'm actually fine with it. I don't think you should only paint or practice in the perfect environment. Michael Phillips' coach had let Michael swim with broken goggles, and one pair of goggles actually broke on Michael during a match, but he won the match anyway. I'm not sure why I gladly endure pain like this, but for some reason I think it's worth it. I don't mean to directly stare to the sun though. I didn't. I used my hand to cover the sun whenever I looked over. It's just hard to cover two suns at the same time. The sun goes completely behind cliff. I can see all the details now, but color temperature has shifted too much, and it's close to 9 p.m, so time to go home. Back at my home studio, I added details to the cliff. Refine the reflection. And finally add a layer of orange glaze to indicate its sunset time. If you watched all the way to the end, give this video a like and consider subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. That's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.